Today I'm going to show you a 2021 action thriller film titled Wrath of Man. Be ready for spoilers ahead. The movie opens with two security guards transferring money in a cash truck. Suddenly, a group of people dressed as construction workers stops them with a signpost. As soon as they stop, the workers draw their weapons to rob the truck, killing two guards and a civilian in the process. After that ghastly incident, the Portico Security Company tries to increase their security with a new recruit, Patrick Hill. He meets his new boss, Terry, who lets him know about the tragedy and warns him to stay focused on the job. Patrick undergoes the basic training under the trainer nicknamed Bullet. Patrick barely manages to achieve the required 70% score in the security test. While reversing the truck, he crashes it into boxes and scatters the bullets to all parts of the target while shooting a gun. Bullet introduces Patrick to his new colleagues in the locker room, and one of them is Boy Sweat Dave, who doesn't get Patrick's humor in their first exchange, but he impresses Dana as their lone female member. Patrick makes his first drop-off with Bullet and a Boy Sweat Dave, and it goes down without a hitch. During the evening, Bullet invites Patrick to join them for a beer, but he stays behind and secretly looks at the IDs of all the employees. On one of their collection rides, Bullet goes out alone to collect a small amount of 10 grand. When Boy Sweat tries to contact him, only to learn that Bullet is taken hostage by some robbers. Boy Sweat loses it and suggests to Patrick that they leave with the 2.5 million in the truck, as the robbers will abandon Bullet because 10 grand is little money to kill him. Patrick, however, insists they're not leaving without Bullet because he's one of their own. Patrick follows the robbers' orders to throw the bags of money on their truck, but he deliberately throws one out onto the floor. When a robber steps out to pick up the bag on the floor, Patrick holds the bag with a gun and then shoots the masked man. He kills the other gunman with precise headshots, but one of them manages to escape. Patrick chases him into an abandoned warehouse, where he eventually finds and kills him without a second thought. Two FBI agents come in to inquire about the incident. They let Patrick watch the security footage from the old robbery to see if he could recognize one of the shooters. Patrick focuses on the pixelated face of the guy in the middle who shot and killed those three people. However, he tells the FBI officers that he's not familiar with any of them. The officers later tell their boss, Agent King, that Patrick was the guy they have been looking for and that he can assist in finding the robbers. Terry suggests Patrick should stay away from truck duty for a month and attend some sessions with a psychiatrist as per the company protocol, but neither Patrick nor Portico's owner, Blake, likes the idea. The boss suggests Terry should not drop him but rather promote him, as it's good for everyone in their company's publicity as well. Patrick earns the respect of his colleagues, applauding his heroic actions. Everything goes well until 3 months pass. With only Bullet accompanying him in the truck, they run into another group of armed robbers in Chinatown. When the thieves paint all of the truck's windows and mirrors black, Bullet immediately calls in code red. However, the gunmen use the hole in the door handle to gas them out of the truck. Bullet goes down on the ground coughing. Patrick also steps out of the truck and is ordered to get on the ground. But as soon as he uncovers his face, the robbers immediately recognize him and decide to abandon the mission. Patrick again comes out as a savior, but Terry is astonished at how the robbers have left a significant amount of cash after looking at Patrick's face. Bullet also privately tells Sweat Boy about the story, calling it Patrick a dark spirit. Patrick gets an assistant to bring him the personal files of all Portico security personnel, Dana's family pictures, and the autopsy report of the person who died in the old robbery incident. Dana finally lets Patrick know about her feelings for him, leading to a sleepover at her place. However, in the middle of the night, Patrick interrogates Dana at gunpoint about some money he found, and later she reveals that she stole it from the job some months ago. Patrick shows her all her contacts, including her parents, and warns her of the dire repercussions of withholding any information from him. 5 months earlier, Patrick was going out with his son Doug and his assistant Mike, who was the same robber that stopped the robbery when he saw Patrick in the guard uniform. Mike calls him about a last-minute issue in their robbery plan, then asks Patrick for a small favor, as one of their actual guys can't make it to the place on time. All Patrick needs to do is watch a Portico cash truck emerge from a gate and let them know if it turns left or right, a request he reluctantly agrees to. Patrick finds a food truck near the gate, then lies to his son about being hungry and parks the car. Before walking to the food truck and making his order, he asks Doug to remain inside. He watches the truck take a right turn and passes the information to Mike. However, the truck gets stopped by another group of robbers dressed as construction workers near the place where he had parked his car. One of the robbers shouts at Doug to step out of the vehicle. Doug calls Patrick, but he is still busy with Mike on the call and has no view of what is happening. Doug exits the car and obeys the order to lie flat facing the ground, only to turn his head and witness the gunman murdering 2 guards. As Patrick walks back, he witnesses his son's death. He begins to run but is shot down as well. Patrick comes back to consciousness after 3 weeks in a hospital bed. Doug's mother blames Patrick for his son's death and calls him cold. He contacts his friend and FBI agent King about the perpetrators, but he could only give a list of known criminals that Patrick can go after and do his worst to find the actual person that killed his son. For the next few weeks, Patrick, Mike, and their crew waged a war on the list, burying bodies whenever they felt fit. After a lot of rage and no desired results, Mike suggests that they need a different approach. Patrick takes Mike's suggestion and goes back to London for a while. He instructs his assistant to create a convincing fake identity for him, using his experience in the security industry as a basis for joining Fortico Security. Since joining Fortico Cash and Transit Company, Patrick has been actively searching for the insider who shot his son a few months ago. 6 resentful military veterans, each facing different financial difficulties, regroup under the guidance of their former Sergeant Jackson and decide to rob wealthy Middle Eastern individuals. The team gets away with a few $100,000 in jewelry, but as time goes by, their ambitions grow as well. One of them, Jan, gets irritated by the number of middlemen they need to pay to turn their robbed items into cash. They decide to directly rob the cash trucks by paying just one insider and splitting the money 7 ways. As their robberies turn into millions, Jackson advises them to be careful, neither to quit their jobs nor to buy anything flashy to make anyone suspect them. However, Jan pays little attention to what Jackson or anyone else says. When they get together for Jackson's birthday, they decide to plan a robbery of Fortico's cash truck with the help of a reliable insider. After rigorous preparation and planning, they dress like construction workers and sit on the site, where Patrick also arrives and parks his vehicle. They stop the cash truck and forcefully subdue the guards. Jan keeps a gun on the guards, while one of them pulls Doug out of the car and makes him lie on the ground. Everything goes as planned until one of the guards tries to pull his gun on Jan. After a scuffle, Jan shoots the guard down before gunning down the second guard as well. Jan puts everything under control before finding Doug on the floor lying as a witness. He shoots down Doug mercilessly, then one crew member shouts at Jan for killing the kid before finding Patrick running towards them. Jan fires at his chest, gazes into his wide-open eyes as he lies on the ground, and then gets into their vehicle. After several months, the group meets again, itching for an even bigger robbery. Jackson tells Jan that despite his carelessness, he is fortunate to still be part of their team. He then tells the team that their next robbery can fund them and their families for life, and they won't need any more heists after this one. Jackson reveals his plan to rob not just one cash truck but all of them from the Fortico depot on Black Friday, where there could be as much as $150 million. At the Fortico depot, Terry alerts the guards of the special levels of security they need to take on Black Friday. Before they embark on their final heist, Jackson scalds Jan for his extravagant spending, despite his advice to the contrary. On Black Friday, Bullet and Patrick drive out, and following their last collection. Bullet informs Patrick that he is the insider for the group that robbed their truck months ago, resulting in the deaths of 3 people. The 2 guards' killings were necessary, but the kid's death calls it unfortunate. He then tells Patrick that he had taken the bullets out of his gun already and that they are planning to rob the depot today. Bullet also emphasizes to Patrick that he must remain calm and cooperate in order to survive. He then turns off the cameras in the truck before taking it to a warehouse, where Jackson and his men, all dressed in bulletproof armor, join them. One of them searches Patrick and slaps him, warning him to be a good boy during the heist. Jackson and his group enter the cash truck, and the moment it arrives at the depot, the gunmen come out and take Terry, Boy Sweat, Patrick, and even Bullet as hostages. Dana, unaware of the situation, goes inside another cash truck to obtain a signature from another guard. The robbers bind Patrick's hands and legs while moving Bullet with a gun to his head. They order the inside staff to open the metal vault door, however, the guard promptly activates the siren alarm as soon as he spots them. The robbers open fire, killing many of the guards, but their armor's ballistic plates shield them from most of the guards' fire. When one of them gets severely injured, the gunmen detonate the explosives to breach the metal gate and open the outer gate. Jackson takes control of the depot and asks his crew to sweep the building while the police team arrives outside. The robbers start shifting the cash into bags while counting down the 8 minutes needed to leave before the police break inside. Dana tells her colleagues in the back of one cash truck that they should wait for the SWAT team. However, one says that it would be too late and start shooting at the robbers. When the guard's fire distracts one gunman, Patrick seizes the opportunity to shoot the robber's foot with his own gun before choking him. Patrick frees himself with a knife and also unties Terry and the boy Sweat, then puts on the armor from the dead gunman. Sweat Boy tries to follow Patrick to face the robbers, but Terry drags him back to hide only to get shot in the vest. Patrick gets hit in his bulletproof vest by a robber, whom he exchanges blows with before he takes a shot at him but only with an empty gun. However, the knife on that robber's armor helps him put that robber down. Boy Sweat looks at Patrick's bloody head in terror as he removes his helmet. When Jackson orders his remaining men to move out with cash, Boy Sweat decides to fight and follows them. Bullet reaches out to Dana and her colleague, asking them for a gun, after which he mercilessly shoots down both the guard and Dana without a flinch. Patrick eliminates 2 more robbers before Bullet takes him down. Bullet calls out Sweat Boy from hiding and shoots him down as well. Jackson, Jan, and Bullet are the only survivors of their crew who leave the depot in a cash truck after punching through the police vehicles. Jackson starts to bleed heavily due to an injured neck before they reach a warehouse as they planned. Bullet and Jan load the money bags onto the motorbikes, while injured Jackson stays behind in the truck, making his gun ready, but Jan catches him and slits his throat without a noise. He tells Bullet that Jackson died of injuries as they went down a secret tunnel and rode the bikes to reach a car parked at the other end. Worried about Jan's behavior, Bullet tries to ambush him, but Jan reacts faster and shoots Bullet in the head before reaching his place with all the money bags. As he treats himself to a drink, Jan hears a phone ringing and follows the sound. He discovers a cell phone in one of the money bags before learning that Patrick is already in the apartment waiting for him. Patrick throws his son's autopsy report at him. Jan then recalls Doug's and Patrick's faces from the robbery scene. Patrick returns the favor for his son's liver, lungs, spleen, and heart by shooting Jan repeatedly. Patrick makes his way out of the apartment, limping due to the injuries but somehow satisfied with his social justice. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.